From Oberndorf to the USA, the Germans said, "Ja, let's build it their way." American steel, American hands, building something sexy, something we understand. Small but mean, it screams with pride. A pocket rocket with that H&K vibe. Feels so good, yeah, you'll never forget. For shot tied group, you're already wet. CC9, stars, stripes, and slide cut shine. Built American tough and H&K refined. CC9, sleek, fast, and mean. So easy to conceal, ergonomics so clean. Deep concealment, but still a battle gun. This little pistol's ready for fun. German standards, but born stateside. Once in your hand, a big smile side to side. CC9's got the curves that kill. Grip it once, you'll catch that thrill. All American, but Euro hot. H&K magic in every shot. CC9, stars, stripes, and slide cut shine. Built American tough and H&K refined. CC9, sleek, fast, and mean. So easy to conceal, ergonomics so clean. Oh, baby, H&K got naughty, making freedom sexy, mean and not gaudy.
Hey guys, Jim here. Welcome back to another desk pop video, or a first impressions video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the overhyped H&K CC9. Now I say overhyped because this is one of a handful of new handguns this year that has been we've all been excited about, and they have been beaten to death. Every major gun tuber that could get their hands on one immediately did about 9 months ago, and they beat us over the head with it. We got to hear the history, the stories, everything behind this gun. And if you're like me, you were impressed. If you're like me, you love H&K firearms. So this was an absolute must-have for my collection. And it was going to I thought it was going to fill a niche that I had a little bit of an opening in, but it turns out I've still got stuff that's close enough to this that I probably could have lived without it. But if I didn't get it, then I couldn't have shared it here with you and gotten a few more views. So yeah, I'm a little bit late to the game here, but I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. You try to get one. I certainly have. I tried over and over and over and over and over again, and I just couldn't do it. The CC9 is H&K's version of, hey, wait, everyone, don't go back home yet. I still have my song to sing. So about 8 years late to the party, but in typical H&K fashion, it was worth it because they get it right. And I don't care that it looks a lot like a Taurus. I only care that it's made to H&K's typical quality standards, and I love that it's not priced high like most H&Ks are. I mean, you're looking at $550 for this, not starting at $800 or starting at $1,000. This is a veritable giveaway in H&K dollars. Yeah, sure, there are people dumb enough to have overpaid to get one, but I'm just not one of those people. I can't do it. When I got my Shelby, I was used to factory ordering some of the cars that I had at the time. Couldn't do that with the GT500 when it was first brought back out back in 2007. So I spent all of 2007 looking and looking and looking and praying. And the only two that I found, the dealers wouldn't let you test drive. Well, I'm like, well, I'm not going to drop that kind of money on a car I can't test drive. And but I understood why. And I'm not paying $25,000, $30,000 over sticker. It's just not going to happen. So I kept waiting. And then I finally found it. I finally found one in 2008. And I was going to jump on it. And then they said, "Hey, we found another one also. You said you wanted blue and white. We found you we have the blue with the white stripes. You wanted the white with the blue stripes. We found that one, and we can have that one brought over for like $800 just for dealer transfer fee." I'm like, fine, go for it. I'll happily pay that to get the exact version that I wanted. So I got it, and I loved it, and I was happy. But I wasn't going to overpay because it's instantly worth less when you buy it. And then you're automatically losing all that overage that you paid. Doesn't do you any good. So for somebody that spent $800 to $1,000 on this when they weren't available and people were scalping them, whenever they go to trade or sell it down the road, it's going to be worth like $400 or $500, and they're going to feel stupid. Was it that important to be one of the first people to have one? For some people, yeah, it is. Some people it's not. And for me, at my age now, it's not. I used to be like that. Now, my reasons for wanting this particular gun is to keep it as my carry fatigue gun. What is carry fatigue? Carry fatigue is when you're going through all the guns in your collection. And each day you put a new one on and you're like, I'm hoping this will be more comfortable than what I carried around all day yesterday. And you keep doing that. And you get to a point where you're like, I kind of almost don't want to leave the house today with a gun. I'm kind of not in the mood to carry one. My lower back hurts today, or I don't want to wear my belt that tightly today because I'm going to go out and have a big lunch or a big dinner. Or so you'll make up some excuse in your head why you want something that's a little bit more convenient. And that's what this was for me. It was down to this or the Lipsy's Smith & Wesson collaboration of the J-frame Ultimate Carry. Because with a J-frame, I can throw that right in my pocket. You don't even need a holster because you've got so much trigger pull that you don't need a holster for it. This is going to have to go in a very small holster that's made for the pocket. But it's still a little bit bulky for pocket carry. That's okay. I have shorts that'll work great in. It's just not going to make it into most of my jeans. Because while I don't wear my jeans tight, they fit normally. They're not baggy or anything. This isn't, the 1990s. I'm not trying to dress like I'm in a music video. So it's not going to work for that. But it's going to be great for bag carry, fanny packs or messenger bags or any of the various EDC bags that we own. This fits in there great. There's nothing to snag. It's super, super compact, and I love it. And right now, the gun that fills that role for me has been the the M&P Shield Plus Performance Center Carry Comp. And I figured this was going to be substantially smaller. And it is in some ways, but not in every way. I do want to show that while my magazine does have ammo in it, this has been cleared. Because it was important to show with the magazine in there. This is the 12-round magazine. The 15-round magazine is longer, and the 10-round magazine is flush. The reason I got this was because I wanted that transformability. I wanted to go from teeny tiny dinky to nearly a full-size gun just by changing the magazines. So we put these together. Let's see what the best way is. Okay, so you see that the height is very much the same when using the extended magazine 12 round here and using the semi-extended magazine here. Slide length is about a half an, almost an inch shorter because you don't have the chunk port being done here. Trigger reach is just about the same. It's a little bit more because I have this back strap on here, and that gives me a little bit more length to pull. This gun is completely ambidextrous, while this is not. Reversible for the magazine release, and no slide release on the opposite side. So while this wasn't quite as small as I was hoping it would be, I think it's still going to fit that role. I think it's going to work out just great.
Please like and subscribe.
Now, keeping it small as I can, and convenient as possible, I'm not going to put an optic on it. And that's really, really tough for me because I am an optic junkie, completely and hopelessly addicted. I love red dots, green dots on everything that I have. I only have one or two handguns that don't have optics. So this one is going to stay optic free. Come on, get out of the frame. Okay. So that I have the smallest gun possible to conceal. I think it's going to work out really, really well. Now, maybe this is my excuse to try the goofy ass looking little Delta Point Micro. You guys have seen that. Not very popular because they're goofy as hell. And I don't know that I could adjust to looking through a 9mm diameter tube to find a 3 MOA dot and have that perfect presentation every single time where that dot's going to be there where I want it to be. That's tough, man. I don't know. You don't know until you do it. And to do it, you got to pay the entry fee. And that kind of sucks. Now let's talk specs for a couple of minutes. Just going to lay this here. Put the 10 round magazine in it so you can see in the flush fit category how that's going to look. Here's the back strap. Now, obviously, the caliber is 9x19. Your barrel is a cold hammer forged, polygonally rifled steel barrel at 3.32 inches. Your overall dimensions, your length is 6.03 inches, your height 4.6, and the thickness, the width, is under 1 inch. It's 0.99 of an inch. The weight unloaded is 18.4 ounces. That's crazy, crazy, crazy lightweight. That's lighter weight than one of my absolute favorite carry guns, which is my CR920 XP by Shadow Systems. I love this one because, yep, it's comped. True compensator on the end from the factory. Not a threaded barrel, so it's perfectly legal everywhere. It's got the perfect length grip, even without a magazine inside of it. It's super slim at just under an inch, or just at an inch in thickness. It's a lot like this, but you're going to see again, there's a significant length difference in the slide and barrel. Once again, no real height difference, no real thickness difference. This may be a hair thinner. And I absolutely love this gun. Now, I'm only going to know in a couple of days if this shoots anywhere near as good as this, because this is a dream. That comp is one of the more effective comps I've ever used. It works really, really, really well. And of course, I've got my enclosed optic on here. I've got my Mepro light. This is the MPO Pro S for the small size or subcompact size. And I absolutely love it. It is a fantastic optic. And I'll miss not having an optic here. But you know what? I grew up shooting iron sights. So Doesn't really affect me all that much. But with my eyes getting older and less reliable, it is easier for me to see a dot. So, okay. Your capacity is a 10 round or 12 round magazine. Both are supplied. Unless you live in a magazine limited state, they'll only give you two 10 round flush magazines. Trigger's about a 5-pound pull, and I can agree with that 100%. It feels like a 5-pound pull. And let's talk about that for a second. Some people that I've watched on YouTube got really, really, really lucky with their CC9. They get to this wall right here, which is wonderful. This is the perfect amount of take up for me. I'm perfectly happy with that. Makes for a safe carry gun, in my opinion. You've got the dingus here, which is your external safety. And I notice a lot of them, they get to that wall and then pop, they've got a beautiful, crisp, clean break. I don't. I have a little bit of a rolling break, almost like a SIG P365. So it's got a little mush to it. Very short, wonderfully tactile reset. So what I'm thinking is this is going to break in and become a lot better. This happens a lot with my FN triggers. Get them out of the box and go, underwhelming, but not terrible. And then you put a couple hundred rounds through it and then bam, it's definitely a night and day difference. So I'm hoping it's going to be the same here, and I'll know day after tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. I have not seen anywhere in print, on the internet, or on YouTube, I have not seen a two-tone CC9. Has anybody else gotten a gray slide? The only ones I've seen anywhere, everything is black. It's got their traditional black DLC that HK does so well. This, I'm assuming, is a Cerakote job to get this, looks like sniper gray Cerakote. So I'm wondering if perhaps this was like a distributor exclusive. The last HK that I bought brand new, which was the VP9SK, way back many years ago, I bought it was a distributor exclusive through, maybe it was RSR, I don't remember, but they had done like a bronze slide with the black frame, and it looked beautiful, and I loved it. I wasn't expecting that though, and here's how I got this. Number one, I've been scammed on buying one from a big website, so I lost $550 there. I won't go into that because it's too long of a story. And then I've been chasing it before that, after that, going crazy, trying to get one, couldn't do it. And then a good buddy of mine messaged me a couple of weeks ago and said, man, you're never going to guess what I came across. Boom. I got myself a CC9. I was like, dude, that's awesome. Congratulations. He and I have very similar tastes in handguns. So I said, hey, do me a favor. Whenever you go shoot it, if you don't absolutely fall in love with it, let me know. And it was one of those kind of half-assed offers. Like, I know that I really want it. And if you don't want yours, I'll figure out a way to get yours from you. I may not have the money today, but it's something that I want bad enough that I'll figure out a way. So he comes back to me about a week and a half later and says, hey, just want to let you know, I went to the range and I shot it and I thought it was great, but it somehow made me love my FN reflex even more than I already did. So he says, hey, if you still want it, I'm happy to sell it to you what I got into it for the $550 that I paid. You know, no upcharge or anything like that because he's a good guy. And I said, okay, well, I really need to think about that. Now is not really the time I should be spending money. He says, I tell you what, he goes, here's a list. Because we both got to know each other through knife groups, being knife collectors and me being a knife maker and so on and so forth. And he gave me a list of knives that he was searching for, and I had two of them in my collection, neither of which I was okay with parting with. And so we started talking more and more about this, and he's selling me on it more and more, and he doesn't realize it. And then we start talking about one of those two knives. And I said, yes, this is one of my favorite knives in my collection. And a lot of people don't understand it. They don't get it. They don't understand where the money goes in that particular knife. He goes, you know what? He goes, I've always wondered. He goes, I thought it was gorgeous. I've always wanted one, but I didn't know that I could justify the price that they charge either. So we worked out a deal. I send him the knife. He sends me the CC9. You can't beat that. And I mean, what's it got? Maybe 50 or 100 rounds through it. It's pretty much a brand new gun. So, folks, if anybody ever tells you buying expensive knives is stupid, no, it's not. You'll find a way to make them worth every bit of what you paid and more. Just got to know what to buy. You got to have the right ones in your collection, homie. That's all there is to it. Stop buying the garbage. Stop buying the shit everybody owns. So that's how I lucked into this. Was not expecting this. One of the things that I appreciate about HK is how much R&D they do on every single product that they make. They have talked about this going through the NATO AC 225 torture testing with over 750,000 test rounds. And this was built for plus P ammunition. Now, that's a huge thing. HK is famous for this long-term abusive testing. I bet there are USPs out there in the world that people own that still have fewer rounds through it after 30 years than the original factory test mule. And in a day and age where some brands rush a product onto the market in order to secure a military contract and end up with countless people shot by their own guns, HK falls back on their motto that truly defines them and is more than a bumper sticker slogan. In a world of compromise, some don't. Yeah, I don't compromise. So as soon as I knew I had secured this gun, I sold off my SIG Spectre Comp. Very, very close in size to this, because I cannot trust SIG ever again. HK has never let me down, and while I'm no brand loyalist, I do have favorites that I'll keep going back to over and over, and HK is absolutely one of them, but they're still not in the category of they can do no wrong, because as Sig Sauer has proven, anyone can screw up and fall from grace. But I've got something here that I feel fully confident in carrying. It's going to get broken in thoroughly this weekend. It'll get between 500 and 1,000 rounds. And if it makes it through all that with no hiccups, and I fully expect that, then it's going to be one of my new carry guns. I'm very excited to get out there on the range. Some of the things that I really love, the neutral ergonomics. They didn't go overly crazy. They didn't go CZ sculpting. They didn't overdo the one single finger groove that they have here. They didn't go all Glock on you where you felt that real separation, that real bump right there. You have a nicely undercut trigger guard. It starts coming up right here, goes way, way up, and that allows you to get this way, way, way down in your hand. Yep, you're a little bit cramped even with that 12-round finger extension magazine, but it feels like you're holding a Glock 19, not in the thickness, but in the length, where you're barely getting that pinky on there. At least for me, I have XL-sized hands. You've got a little bit of the texturing up here. So you've got your contact point for your index finger, and then you have, if your thumbs go there, you have a little bit of traction point there while you're shooting. I really wish that this was up here. I don't know why it isn't. Every company does this. They've got really good texturing all the way around. This is how texturing should be done. It's grippy when you really push into it and try to move around. It's extremely grippy. But just running your fingers over it, you're not scratching yourself up and tearing off dead skin. They did a really wonderful job. You've got front and rear angled serrations that work well enough. Being a micro compact, you are trying to overcome a very heavy recoil spring. Keep that in mind. As mentioned before, it is optics ready. You just simply take the plate off and you direct mount whatever you would like on there. I think this is an RMSC footprint, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken on that, then I will be putting up a note here on the screen. Otherwise, yes, it's RMSC only. This is every bit as simple as a VP9, just not as chubby. It's nice and slim, and it's lightweight, and honestly, it's a delight. That's why I can't wait to shoot it. Here's what I want to find out when I'm shooting it. How snappy is this going to be? When you get this small, remember this is a 3.3 inch barrel. When you get this small, in 9mm, it tends to want to do a lot of muzzle flip, a lot less recoil, a lot more muzzle flip. So, is it so snappy that it's hard to get back on target, to get back to zero? Am I going to be overdriving it in anticipation of that snappiness, where I'm pushing past the point of zero and I'm pushing my front sight down too far? Is it going to be so snappy that under very rapid fire that my shots climb? Is it going to go back as quickly as I need it to? That's the question. I'm not a competitive shooter, so I don't care about what my splits are. In your head, you want to have them nice and quick, because that means you're back on target quickly to deliver another round that could possibly save your life. So yes, there is a practical idea behind that performance, but some people do put a little bit too much emphasis on those numbers. Well, if I don't get 1-1, 1-2 splits out of this thing, it's too slow. No, this is the real world, man. If you're shooting USPSA, man, every half second, split second counts. In a real world encounter, it's not going to come down to something that specific. There'll be a lot of other things that'll factor in a lot more. And honestly, your situational awareness before the fact is far more important than how fast your gun cycles. I want to see how accurate it is with this short of a sight radius. How far can I take it and be secure in the fact that I can hit what I want to hit? Those are the basic things that I want to find out. Plus also, hey, is this going to be reliable? That to me isn't really a question. It's an H&K. H&K for me has always been reliable. I go back a long ways with them. My furthest back was my first of 3 P7 M8s. I think I bought my first P7 M8 right around 1993 or 94. And then I bought my second one in the early 2000s. It would have been around 2003, 2004. So I was dumb enough to sell my first one or trade it. Don't remember what I did with it. And then I sold that one like a moron. And I bought a third one back around 2015, 2016. And I discovered something really weird. I shoot significantly different than I did 30 years ago. So when I've got the gun pushed way down into my hand, all of my guns benefit from that, except for the P7. P7 was absolutely slide biting me and just tearing sections of flesh out. I could no longer shoot it, and it really bummed me out. It disappointed me. It really wants to sit up in the hand. So after the P7 M8s, I went the actual week that the P30 came out. My shop where I was living at the time in Minnesota, they got them in. I bought one immediately when I saw it. And then the HK45. I don't remember which one came out first, the P30 or HK45, but they were within 2 weeks of each other. It was a big rollout event that HK was doing at the time. So I bought that too, because I'm like, hey, are you kidding me? This thing is awesome. It's what we all wanted the USP to be. And oh, it was fantastic. And then when they made the HK45C, the HK45 compact, bought that. Then when the VP9 came out, what was that, 2008? I bought the VP9. Then the VP9 SK came out and I bought that. And I've loved every single one of them. I even once owned a PSG1. Didn't do me any good. I am not a rifle guy, but I got a deal on it and it was fantastic. And I've never had a hiccup with a single HK for any reason. So I know that I can always fall back onto this brand and they're going to treat me good. But does that mean they're the best? I can't say that because I can say the same things about Glock. I've never had a Glock fail me. I can fall back on Glock anytime and not really worry too much. I can fall back on FN. FN is another brand that's done me exceedingly good. The M&Ps, they're fantastic. In today's world, it's hard to pay a premium price and get a shit product. Who was the last holdout? Kimber. Up until 2 years ago, you were paying king shit money for a gun with Kimber, and you were getting a glorified fucking paperweight because they didn't work for shit. Then management changed. Upper management changed. I think even ownership changed. Now, Kimber's making really good, high-quality guns that are friggin' reliable. So the days of having to worry about the brand that you buy because of the quality are almost over. Taurus is making stuff that people report are doing very, very well. I'm not a Taurus fan myself, so I don't care to find that out for myself personally. And even people out there they'll go out and buy a High Point as a gag, and they'll shoot it and go, I can't make it not shoot. And none of those have any issues with being dangerous. So I avoid SIG now, and I go into guns like this that I know are going to be safe, and they're going to be reliable, and they're going to be everything that I need them to be, because this is not a fucking candy dispenser. This is something that, if not running properly, can severely injure you or kill you, and will be relied upon, hopefully never, but could be called upon to save your life or the life of someone that you love. This is very important stuff, man. I'm not buying an electric scooter and hoping that it gets the range that they claim on the box. I'm buying something that I hope is going to be reliable so that it can save my life. Not that I pull it out and I hear and nothing happens. That's why I like HK. But that's also why I like CZ and Shadow Systems and FN and Smith & Wesson, because they're really, really good. So do you need to beat yourself over the head to buy one of these? I'm going to say as of right now, before shooting it, I'm going to say probably not. I think you're going to do every bit as good with this. And they're right around actually, this is a little bit more. Yeah, the M&P was what, $650? I think it was like $100 more than this. FN Reflex or Reflex XL. Amazing choice. The IWI Masada Slim, another amazing choice. You can't go wrong with any of these. Now, once I go shoot it, will I find characteristics about this that are unique and special and make me feel that I'm really glad that I have this, even though it's fairly close to other ones that I have? We'll see. I kind of hope yes, because I want every gun I have to have its own special, unique personality. I have some that I carry for this reason and this reason, or I take to the range more often for this reason or that reason, and I hope that this has one of those reasons where it's just such a joy to shoot. Maybe it's the most comfortable to shoot out of all my 3 1/4 inch, 3 1/3 inch barrels. That would be nice. So I'm looking forward to a surprise. And I think, knowing HK, there is going to be a surprise up the sleeve. I think there is going to be some reason to go, wow, this is really fantastic, and I'm glad that I've got it. If not, I've got something that was hard to achieve. I'm glad I've got it, and it'll make really great trade bait down the road if I don't bond with it. But I'll know this weekend. And the next video I make will hopefully be the on the range video, which I call Shots Fired. I hope to do a Shots Fired video on this next week and give you my impressions of exactly what it was like on the range, and if it was worth all the struggles that it took to get my hands on it. And we'll all share in that together. And until then, thank you for joining me as always, and I'll see you on that video.